Hello, my friends. Let's talk about Plato and the problem of participation, which comes up over and over and over again in the history of philosophy in different forms. Um, George Berkeley writes about the problem of ideas not being things. And if we only can understand things by means of ideas, then we will never understand things because all we could really know about things is that they are not ideas. Okay, similar stuff is happening here in Plato. Plato thinks that what's ultimately real, the most real thing, is ideas. Ideas don't change. Justice is justice. Today, yesterday, tomorrow, whatever. Maybe there's no just law, maybe there's no just person, but justice is justice. Same with beauty, same with uh, shapes. The circle is a circle. It's true. Pi r squared is the area of a circle now, today, forever. That my ring light over here is a circle. Well, it's actually not quite a circle, and it's also something that's changing constantly. And uh, when you get right down into it, there's got to be some variation in this. Anyway, so a law may be more or less just, right? The law may become more just over time. And so all this talk of justice, there's got to be such a thing as justice, but it's not a thing. But there's got to be some bearer of those truths, those unchanging truths. That unchanging world, Plato thinks, matters more. It's truer. It's the only true. I mean, and this world is all constantly changing. But we read of people like Socrates who try to live just lives, who try to live their life in pursuit of truth. So how can we do that? Right? How can we um, understand the true, the good, the just, um, and model our lives after that? It gets quite difficult. Plato's Meno paradox says that we can't actually inquire after these things. We can't learn, according to Meno, either that which we know nor that which we don't know. We can't learn that which we know because we already know it, and we can't learn that which we don't know because not knowing it, we wouldn't be in a position to recognize the truth even if we stumbled upon it. So we're trying to understand these non-physical things, these intelligible natures, the forms, but maybe our mind's not up to it. How would we ever know if we had the truth when we had it? And we've seen Socrates trying to kind of scramble towards the truth. He's using this test of cross-examination. The truth should hold up to cross-examination. Maybe not everything that holds up to cross-examination is true. Maybe we're, you know, um, not doing it right, not seeing it clearly enough. But if it doesn't hold up to cross-examination, it should be false. Plato seems to think, he argues this way in the Meno. He says to Meno that there is in us, which we're born with, the truth. Pi r squared is the area of a circle. You are in a position to recognize that as true because the circle, you're kind of born with it. And all of these concepts are kind of even shaping your experience of things. I wouldn't perceive this ring light as circular if I didn't have the concept of a circle. I experience the world by means, right? Mediated by these concepts. Can I ever know when I have the concept right? Plato says, before you were born, your soul was there. It was with the concept. I don't know what that means. I don't think he can know what that means. But it gets him around the Meno paradox. He says, we're born in a kind of state of forgetfulness. I think of it as we've got the concepts, but we don't have the language. We can't make the account. It's not enough, he says in the Theaetetus. It's not enough to have a true belief. That's not knowledge. You have to have an account that reveals the truth to you. And I think our souls are equipped to recognize a good account because we're born with that concept for Plato. Now, interestingly, Plato's not sure. He has Socrates say to Meno that I'm not sure the details here, the story of the afterlife, the before life, the cycle of death, and but I do know that we will be better off. We will inquire boldly as we ought if we believe that the soul is equipped to recognize the true, to respond to the true. Okay, so we've got the doctrine of recollection. We've got these forms that are more real. What other Platonic basics do we want? The three parts of the soul. Real important. Again, is this true? It seems to me like a metaphor for something that's definitely true. But let's think this through a little bit. Plato says the soul is divided into three parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. Justice is having the right kind of structure of these. The appetite is the thing in us seeking pleasure. It's important, keeps us alive, but it needs to be kind of directed, right? It can't be in charge, right? We've seen lots of examples in literature, in history, in the present, in our lives. I'm sure we've run across this. People driven by their appetites, whose appetites are not controlled. These are destructive people. It needs to be controlled. It needs to be reined in. One of the things that's really good at reining in the appetite is a sense of what's honorable, a sense of what's shameful. I won't let myself do those things because of what it would mean about me, because of who I want to be as a noble person, our sense of what's noble. This is tied to the second part of the soul, spirit. Don't think of spirit like spirits, ooh, ghosts, that kind. Think a spirited horse, hard to tame. Think team spirit, rah rah, right? It's a very excitable thing, spirit. It's a very passionate thing. It's emotional. For Plato, spirit is kind of directed to the noble, to what's honorable. And it's directed away from what's shameful. Okay, so it's very attuned to like honor and shame. But people who are led by spirits, we also have lots of examples in literature, history, our own lives, of people where spirit is running the show. It's not directed by reason, but it's just running the show. You ever have a story, really digest a story of people doing really awful things with the best principles justifying them? for the sake of freedom, for the sake of justice, for the sake of God, for the sake of progress. We let ourselves do the worst things for the sake of these. Um, I like to think of Inspector Javert from Les Miserables as someone driven by spirit who is defending justice and not seeing the injustice that he's causing, right? He's not seeing it. Anyway, all right, so reason should be running the show. Reason is that thing in us that pursues the true. Reason needs to inform spirit of what's really honorable, of what's really noble, of what really deserves to be treated as sacred. Ultimately, truth should be treated as sacred. If spirit is informed by reason, and being informed by reason and strengthened by spirit, the appetite is kept into check, then we will be truly good people, doing what is truly good. Yeah. So this is Plato's account of justice involves these three parts of the soul. Now, interestingly, does the soul really have three parts? The detail, I don't know. I mean, if all this is metaphor, the truth of it may be more in how it helps us to structure reality, how it helps us to diagnose a couple like uh, social vices. Um, okay, last thing we want to talk about, and it's the most exciting, words, words. All right. Plato has a problem, the problem of participation. We want to know about justice. We want to know about truth. We want to know about the good. We want to know about the beautiful. We want to know the real reality in a way that helps us to live, helps us to be just people, helps us to find good people, helps us to help other people. Anyway, do the forms actually help us understand reality? Do the forms help us understand the sensible reality? What is the relationship between the beautiful and the sunset? The sunset is beautiful. The sunset's very beautiful. It's not the beautiful itself. It isn't the concept of beautiful. Beautiful applies to it. How do forms structure the reality? How do forms create the reality? What is the relationship between this real reality and the physical world? Why should I think there is any relationship between the circle and things down here? I mean, that thing's kind of circular. Can I learn about the circle from experiencing that? Not really. I mean, maybe I can use it to fix my attention on something. You can use drawings to fix your attention on things, even though the diagram of the circle isn't a perfect circle. It's useful. It can fix your attention on things. But at a certain point, the the concept, the relationship between the form of beauty and the beautiful things is unclear. And in fact, it can't be made clear. There are serious objections to Plato's own account of the forms that Pla- Plato rehearses for us in a dialogue the Parmenides, right? Plato shows us the objections, the very strong objections to the theory of forms. Um, Still, I feel like even though, yeah, I can't really say whether the form of the large is itself large, these things start falling apart. The relationship between the idea and the reality, we just we won't be able to know that. It is kind of this fundamental problem that we have to just kind of make peace with.